Here we are factoring by the box method, and this is example number 1. In our trinomial here, we have 3 terms, none of which can be factored. Nothing will go into 3, 11, and 4 except 1. So we start by drawing our box, and then we draw the 3x squared in the first box. We draw the negative 4 into the last box. And then we take the 3 and multiply by the 4 to get 12. And then we start looking for the factors of 12. Now I put mine in order so that I don't get confused, and I have all my smaller numbers in the first column, all my larger numbers in the second column. The first factor of 12 is 1, and 1 will go into 12 times. My next factor of 12 is 2. And 2 will go into 12 6 times. And then the next factor of 12 is 3, and it will go into 12 4 times. Now, our first number, 3x squared, the 3 is positive. That means that both of these positions in our table are going to be positive numbers as well. This number is negative. That means that these two numbers have to multiply to give me that negative number. So one must be positive and one must be negative. It could be the positive on top and the negative on the side, or reversed, with the negative on top and the positive on the side. Now they have to add up to negative 11. So that means that my larger numbers have to be negative and my smaller numbers have to be positive, because I'm adding these two numbers together to get a negative 11. And it turns out there's only one pair of numbers that do that. That would be negative 12 and positive 1. They will add up to give me 11. So I fill them into the table, and it doesn't really matter which position they go into. Now, in my first column, I have my 3x squared negative 12x. Out of my numbers 3 and 12, I can factor out a 3. Out of the x squared and the x, I can factor out only an x. So together I am factoring out a 3x out of those first two numbers. In my second column, I can factor out a 1. It's the only thing that will go into 1 and negative 4 evenly. Now, this number is positive. That would mean that that number must be positive as well. This number is positive, so as we've already gone over, the top number here has to be positive. And when I go to factor these two numbers, only 1 will go into 3 and 1 evenly, and I can factor an x out of both terms. So I can factor out the x on top. And then since this number is negative, it means that the number above must be negative. So between negative 12x and negative 4, I can factor out a 4, and again it must be negative. So my answer, x minus 4 times 3x plus 1. And that's how we factor with the box method.